TIG welding carbon steel joints. Today she is working on some fabrication pieces on going around a piece of tubing and angle. And she's using the GTAW process, and the goal is to go around joints. So she been patting beads, she didn't got the filler metal implementing down. Now she's learning how to actually put things together when it comes to building things, fabrication. And we're using mild steel. So this is a process that's easier to learn. It's a little bit more forgiving than stainless steel when you're getting started. But I think that learning this process prepares you and sets you up for the other processes.
Way better. I mean, that was like phenomenally better.
That was a lot better?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna step in and check you out here in a second. So what do you think you got better from when you first did the first one up to this point? What are you starting to see?
Figuring out the length of my tip and adjusting it for moving around different parts or at different angles. And then I would move like the head of my gun to fit the angle that I need, and make sure that I'm not like hanging on my chest, so that way my breathing doesn't affect it. But it really is just watching the puddle move up and down and covering each side.
That's the main thing, is watching the puddle. Once you understand you can watch the puddle, it makes everything easier when it comes to implementing, when it comes to moving, doing your pattern, because that's really what you're focusing on.
Right.
Once you do that, then it kind of makes everything else a little bit easier, because you struggled at first.
Yeah.
She was struggling, fam. I ain't gonna lie, she was struggling. I had to jump in and, hey, help her. Like a big dad supposed to walk in and let me help her. I'm gonna hold her hand for a little bit. But now I let her hand go and she's doing her own thing. But like she say, it was just a couple small things. Angle, understanding what you was really looking at, and now you got a whole lot better. So let's dive in, fam, and see what she got. Let us look at it.
Right here.
Okay, that's the last one she did. Check her out. Check it out now. It's looking good, looking good. Flip all the way around so we can see it now. She's just getting started with this.
Well, I haven't done the very last
She got
one.
two of them. You got two or three?
Three.
Okay, she got three of them she got on this one. So you see she's getting better as she go.
It was the first, second, and third.
So now she's walking around, and the goal is she's gonna do this one, then this one, and then we got two more on the other side as well. So that way you can build your practice up, because with this, it's all about muscle memory, ain't it?
Right.
You literally have to do it and figure out what you're doing and get it, or you won't get it. That's why I tell them you have to practice. Practice is everything. So since you've been doing this, I guess you've been on joints about 3 weeks, huh? So you've been advancing pretty well on them joints. So from someone who just got started doing the TIG, they just touched it, what advice could you give them, since you've been, where you at, you're a little seasoned, you got a little meat under your belt now. So what kind of advice could you give someone that haven't touched this process, that's about to dive into it?
make sure that you're not really relying on, like, it's really like practicing fine motor skills. I would suggest if you're at home, maybe taking a pencil and then some paper, drawing some lines out, and then practicing your patterns and making sure that they're consistent. And then just really watch your puddle and pay attention to your speed. I really would say those are the main things. But also try not, because I see my classmates do this, and like I did this at the beginning too, but I knew that if I kept doing it, it would turn into a bad habit, where they'll rely on like the table to keep themselves steady. But if you're having to work at an angle where you can't use the table, you're not going to be able to keep steady. So I stopped doing that, and I started either keeping it right here or keeping it right here. That way, like even if that way, like, so if I do this, then my breathing could affect it. But if I keep it right here, my breathing won't affect it.
Okay, so you have to find the correct way to hold it when you don't have nothing to brace yourself.
Right.
Okay. But if you think about it, the terminology I gave you from the beginning when I said gap, angle, and travel speed, would you agree?
Yes. That's the main thing.
That is like the main thing, ain't it? And it's that simple, but it's understanding that all of them goes together. And when you getting started, you even you focusing on one or the other. Then you might get two and then you forget one. But once you put them all together, that's when it makes sense, don't it?
But
So.
see, the most frustrating part is the gap. It's the gap. The angle, you know what? That's fine. I can always adjust. The gap.
The gap is what it is, ain't it?
Yeah.
You heard what she said? The gap is what it is. So keep your eyes on the distance. You got to keep it tight, fam. You got to keep it tight. Let's dive into it, fam. We're going to watch it do some more. We appreciate y'all for checking in. The purpose of this video is to help beginners, those who are thinking about diving into it. It's always good to practice on mild steel first. These coupons is actually an 1/8" coupons. You can actually buy a small bulk order of these that won't break the bank. You can get them from Amazon. You can get them off of Walmart shop. You can get them off of this video in the corner. I'm gonna actually tag them, but they're 4x2 1/8", pretty much 14 gauge 1/8" coupons to practice on very well. If you can get some thicker pieces when you are working on the TIG, is give you a little bit more forgiveness. But them 1/8" pieces are great to run beads on, to implement some filler metal, to learn your process, to learn how to do your joints, from lap joints, T-joints, butt joints, corner joints. It's very, very important when you're building everything. Most of everything got a leg on it, got an arm on it, got something connected to it. So learning how to connect pieces is very important. Very, very smart thing to do. In this particular class that we have here at Arkansas Baptist, we start off in the TIG welding phase. That's phase 1. 6 weeks in this phase. And the goal is to learn how to do it in all positions, be able to do the joints, and knowing how to break down and assemble your torch, and how to do some fabrication, because we're building parts in here as well. When she got started, she didn't know nothing, 0 zip. And now, 6 weeks later, you see how she's performing. So it's all about muscle memory, practice, having the right equipment, having the right tools, and also the right information. But if you have those things, fam, just like your gap, angle, and travel speed, it's going to work out. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the channel. Share it with a friend. Share it with a friend. Our goal is to have more engaging content to motivate people to dive into the trade. We're in Little Rock, Arkansas, at Arkansas Baptist College, the Meta 24 welding program. Our goal is to really help the inner city. For those who are trying to get signed up, if you don't have the finances and you want to get signed up, all you have to do is call 501-400, 501-420-1354. That's 501-420-1354 to get signed up through the adult education here at Arkansas Baptist College. Ask questions, learn more about the Meta 24 program. There's more trades involved, but if you want to learn how to weld and you want to learn from someone you know who is seasoned, y'all check me out, fam. Check me out. Make sure you get on my personal email list. It's joe.brown@arkansasbaptist.com. .edu. So that's joe.brown@arkansasbaptist.edu. Typo, fam. My bad.